Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, for another amazing episode with the one and only Dawn Nic. She is going to be fabulous today, talking whole self approach. And I'm so excited. Make sure and share with your friends. Let everybody know, because here we go. Let's do it. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. I am so blessed and thankful that you're here today. And I want to tell you right off the bat, I am super excited for Mondays. I love Mondays, but you know what? Everybody does not share my joy and excitement for Mondays. A lot of people are just trying to get going today. So I tell you what, it would be so great if you remind all of your friends by sharing this out this morning. Let them know that we're on. Tag your friends. Tell them Dawn Nic is coming. You do not want to miss this. And I'm so excited for that. So please do that. That would be such an amazing thing. Also, I want to start off today by just telling you what an amazing group of sponsors that we have here on Marketing with Russ. You know, we are sponsor supported and listener supported. Today, the aspects of aging, you go to agingbetternetwork.com and you can find out all about Christine Smith and the amazing things she is doing. The Oaks at Lebanon Retirement and Assisted Living, you can go to retirement or LebanonRetirement.com. That's LebanonRetirement.com for more information on them. And for Michelle Martin and Farmers, I'm telling you, great insurance agent. Call 541-981-2616. She's based in the Albany area, and that would be so great. Also, we are listener supported. If you feel so led to bless this ministry and this great effort we have of getting good word out, value to you, and amazing things, you can scan this QR code or go to the link in the comments. We would love that. No matter, you can give any amount. That would bless us so much. It goes towards the cost of putting this together because, as you know, in life, everything costs money. And so we appreciate that. And we're able to come to you every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And you know what? Today, we have so many people like our guests coming from Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time today. And so it's so great to have you no matter where you are, no matter what time of day it is where you are. Blessed to have you here with us. And I'm so excited. We're going to get excited, have some fun things. I brought one of my favorite co-hosts. I love that. You know what? Smiling and laughter is one of the best things for you. Why not get a good smile as we get going here, right? So thankful. So love all of you that are here and tagging your friends and letting them know. Like I said right off the bat, if you would please let people know that we're here, because it's the best way to bring in a great group to listen to Dawn Nic this morning. Tag your friends, share it out. It's so amazing. So I want to tell you a few things. First of all, what is Marketing with Russ all about? You've never been here before? And what is this AKA hashtag Russ Selfie thing? Well, we're going to have to talk about the hashtag Russ Selfie later, but we are all about how amazing people connect here, all about connection and community building. That's right. I am a firm believer that connecting and building community is the foundation for any good business, any good life, really. Get out there. If you want a good marketing plan, connect and build community with people. That is how it works. And I love to connect, of course. You go to russhedge.com, russhedge.com to connect with me. In fact, not only does it have all the information about my inspirational speaking, my marketing coaching, my live stream producing, but also it has great value in snippets from my newsletter, from other information, and ways to get in touch with me and connect. Wow. Can you believe it? You can get in touch with me through social media, my email, my phone number. You can even schedule time right on my calendar. Shh, don't tell everybody, but you can do it right on my calendar. It'll be so great. And we can Zoom. I would love to meet with you today. Also, I would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube page. It is exploding and growing. And I would love it if you would join all of the amazing live streams from Marketing with Russ, Russ Reels Live, the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. They are all there on my YouTube page. And all you do, guess what, is go to marketingwithruss.live. I keep it so easy. If you know my name, you can get to my website. If you know the name of this show, you can get to the YouTube page. There you go. Marketingwithruss.live will take you there, right to the YouTube page. Subscribe today. In fact, we have a minute. Open another tab if you have not subscribed. Type in marketingwithruss.live, click on that, and subscribe today. That would be so great, because you know what? Then you get all of the past amazing content, amazing people, hundreds going on thousands of people. This show alone is over 500 episodes. So many great people. So we would love for you to do that today. I'd be so thankful. One last time, share and tag your friends. That would be so great. And don't forget, you can go to my website at russhedge.com and get Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, my first book, my 4 collaborative anthology books that I wrote a chapter in that are amazing, international bestsellers, #1 on Amazon. Love for you to check that out. You can find out more about my cancer journey, more about my life and little stories. Love for you to check those out. But you can also go to Amazon or any online bookseller, pick that up as well. And so thankful to that. In fact, Befuddled even has a workbook that will help you get more value if you go to do that. So, all right, we have one more thing to do today, and that is the marketing tip of the day. We do this every Monday and Thursday. This will get cut out separately, put on YouTube Shorts, and put on social media so you can share just the marketing tip of the day. Love it if you would do that. And you know what? Today's a good one in honor of our guests. So here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. All right. And here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Prioritize self-care. That's right. Prioritize self-care. I know not everything is about you, but if you are not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of other people, right? Self-care is so important. Getting rest, eating right. We're going to talk about some of that today. And it is so important when you prioritize self-care, then you can move on, help others, bless others. You do better with your marketing, better with your business, better with your life when you take care of yourself. You have more energy. And that is a great thing. I tell you, through my cancer journey, I have had to prioritize self-care so that I have some energy. And mornings are my time, everybody. So this is it for me. So prioritize your self-care. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. That'll get cut out, put out separately. Now we're going to get Dawn in the room and get this party started. Here we go. Morning, Dawn.
Hey, hi, Russ. How are you?
I am doing so good. What are you up to this morning?
Same old Monday, getting ready for work, preparing for my clients. It's a beautiful day.
You're here to bless us with that big smile, and I appreciate that this morning. You know, people don't know the power of a smile, right? Just being kind to others, and it means so much. So let's start off with the basics.
Sure.
Who is Dawn Nic? What are you all about? Give us a little info on you.
Okay, so I too am a cancer survivor, but that doesn't define me. I am a life coach, health coach. I'm also a double board certified functional medicine, nutrition practitioner, and holistic health practitioner. So I live to help others find their best self.
Yeah, you know, I love what you just said there, that you live to help others. And also one thing you said I think is so important, and I work on this all the time myself, And that is, the cancer does not define you. My cancer does not define me. It's not who I am. But you know what? God has given me the ability to share and bless and help others, like you're talking about, through that journey, right? There's a lot of positive things. And I know that you also are doing a lot of that as well. So let's talk a little bit about where your focus is on really helping and blessing others and your life coaching and all of that.
Okay. So for me, I feel like when I help others, I try to help people find balance in their lives, mind, body, spirit. I'm a woman of faith as well. So we have that in common. And I think it's important really just to obviously always come from a place of love and compassion and empathy for others, right? You don't need to be walking in someone else's shoes to have empathy and compassion. So to be kind is my number one thing. You never know what somebody else is going through. So I think it's always important to practice kindness and compassion. Um, I found that, for the longest time, I helped people with their anxiety, eating disorders, drug addictions, things like that, until I actually went through cancer myself. And that's a lot of self work, right? You go through a journey, you ask questions of, oh, okay, why me? And you realize that I feel for me, like nothing happens in your life in vain. So there must have been a reason why I went through what I went through.
Right.
And I discovered through the process, it's so that I could pay it forward to help others, to realize that there's a lot more to life than I guess what's been given to you in that respect. So I feel like nothing happens in God's world by mistake. This happened to me, and I think He put me here to help others
Yeah.
go through their
Well,
journey.
I completely agree with that. In fact, the ability to help other people through what we're going through, there's always a reason, like you said. I love that. There's always a reason for what you're going through. And, God didn't say that we were going to have an easy life, right? We
Yeah.
would like that. We'd like to float through life on the easy street, right? But it's just not always that way. And so, but we learn the most and grow the most through challenges and adversity in our life.
Of
And
course.
so I think, and one thing that you mentioned too, Dawn, and that is, a lot of people are dealing with so much anxiety in life. Talk a little bit about that, because I have personal experience with family members dealing with that right now.
So anxiety is worry of not knowing what's going to happen in the future. Um, I found through COVID, especially, a lot of young adults go through anxiety. This is something that's out of our control, let's say, and it's fear based. Anxiety is fear based. So if you don't know what's coming in the future, you tend to sit in it and you tend to worry. So I've learned there's a gut brain connection, right? So being in the functional medicine side of things, you realize that the things that we put into our bodies affect not just our physical self, but affects the mind. It affects every aspect, physiologically, emotionally. So there is a gut brain connection between anxiety and what we actually feed ourselves. Not just the words that we feed ourselves, but the foods that we put in our body as well.
Yeah, no, I that is so true. In fact, the things that I learned so much through my cancer journey, I think a lot of it, um, I went through has been used to refine and improve the way I take care of myself and what I put in my body. I tell you, I am very intentional every day about the things that I'm putting in my body and how I'm taking care of all that I'm doing, because it's so critical. People don't realize the power your mind and thoughts have and the power of your choices that you put in your body, how much that affects your health overall, right? You can do so many things that you don't even have to wait for a doctor to do, right, Dawn?
Right. Well, Russ, listen, what we feed our brains, right? Our mind has the ability to make us or to break us, right? So if we're feeding our brains positive affirmations, positive thoughts, it brings you to a different level than we're consistently putting ourselves down. I always say self-love is number one. As women, especially, we're so used to taking care of everybody else, and sometimes you put yourself to the wayside. That analogy about the plane, how can you help others if you don't sit there and put the mask on yourself first? It's true. We really need to be kind to ourselves first. We need to be able to love ourselves. We need to be able to forgive ourselves. Without forgiveness, without self-love, you can't elicit change anyway. And acceptance is huge. We have to have self-acceptance of ourselves. We have to have acceptance of others. It's a combination. It's a balance of everything: mind, body, spirit. What we put into our minds is important, as well as what we feed our bodies nutritionally is important. If you're feeding crap, then that doesn't work. You have to eat properly, especially if you're going through something.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with that. The fact of accepting and forgiving ourselves and being really, one of the things that I talk about is how to connect to life. And the first thing you need to connect to is yourself. You need to make sure that you're on balance and you're connected. I love the holistic approach to everything that you're all about, because it is mind, body, spirit, the whole thing. It all balances within itself to really move you in the right direction, because one of those can really pull you down. And if you're not taking care of yourself, doctors can do stuff all day long, but if you're putting a bunch of crap in your body, it's not going to help you.
Right?
And so tell us a little bit about, just give us a little snippet on your cancer journey and what you had and how that moved you forward.
Okay, so I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so the crazy story about my breast cancer is this. I went and got a mammogram like we normally do, right? A yearly mammogram. My mammogram was fine. I pushed for a sonogram. I asked my doctor, listen, look, can we do a sonogram? Not that I felt that there was anything specifically wrong, but I felt I needed a sonogram for whatever reason. I got a sonogram and it wound up being cancerous. But there was cancer in my left breast. At that moment, I made a decision to go through a double mastectomy, which when I did the double mastectomy, it came back that I had cancer in both breasts.
Wow.
I chose for myself. Everyone has their own choices. I chose for myself not to go down a path of like chemo or radiation or taking tamoxifen or anything like that. I sought out a regular MD oncologist as well as an MD who is a holistic oncologist as well. And I followed the path of taking some high dose vitamin C, some other things holistically. Thank you, Jesus. I am cancer free today. And, but it's not something, that you don't think about. For me, is it a thought? I'm a year cancer free. But it's a thought that goes through your mind all the time. Like, will it come back? Will it not come back? But I've given myself the tools enough to say, okay, as quick as a thought comes in, it has to leave. Because I'm not going to sit in that thought and be afraid to live.
Right.
But it does give you perspective, right? It gives you perspective on your life, where you're at, where your journey is. I've always been the person to help others, to want to help others, to give the best of myself so that other people can live their best lives. And not that having cancer changed any of that, but I think it just kind of elevated that, because I think it's important to stress not only your physical health, but your mental and emotional health. We have one life and that's it. So you want to live the best life that you can. You want to be in the best shape that you can. You want to be mentally healthy. You want to be emotionally fit. You want to be in a good relationship, not just with your family and your friends, but your spouse or whoever. You want to live your best life. And sometimes I think fear gets in the way of doing that. So what I do is I basically help my clients find their balance and find a way to live their best life, emotionally, spiritually, physically, nutritionally.
Yeah.
Live your best life. That's it. You only have one life. And we're not getting any younger.
Well, that's for sure. And you know what? I couldn't agree with you more, because I always tell people, one of my taglines when I go do networking meetings is, my main tagline these days is, I'm an inspiration specialist here to inspire you to live your best life now, right? Why not live your best life now? And everybody chants that with me. And I tell them, why wait? Why not do what it takes to live your best life now? That doesn't mean it's the perfect life. That doesn't mean that everything is perfect and great, but you can live to the best of your ability, why not enjoy the life you have? Because you just can drag yourself down. And whether it's through anxiety or the things that are serious things to deal with, if you let those take over, then what happens is you just drags you down and you don't definitely do not live your best life. And this holistic approach, I think, is so critical to really looking at all that you're doing. You're such a blessing with the way you plowed through your cancer journey. I've kept the attitude that God's not done with me yet, that I'm moving forward and doing all that He has planned for me. And you know what? If they tell me, so I've still got some cancer in my lungs and my groin area. It started on the bottom of my foot, but the cancer in my brain is gone because I had a brain tumor, and the cancer on my foot is gone at the moment. So we're moving in the right direction, and I'm expecting things to get better, right? And if they don't and something else happens, I will just deal with it, right? I'll deal with it and move forward. But the thing is, it's all your perspective. And I think there's so much power in perspective. I use that and I speak about that a lot. Talk a little bit about that in your holistic approach, how perspective makes such a big difference on how you're looking at yourself.
Well, our mindset is huge, right? Especially when you're going through something. It's hard to be positive all the time. We're human. We're flawed. But we have to also remember that if it's not in your control, it's practice, right? To let it go. There's a saying, let go, let God, let go. Not everyone believes in God. I understand that. So whatever it is that you believe in, let's say, let go. And for me, let God. Because if you can't control it, I can't worry about it. I only have control over my actions and my reactions. You can't control people. You can't control what happens to you that's outside of your personal control. But you can control your actions and your reactions to things. And if we choose, and it's a choice, to choose to react positively, then life is good. I think it's really important to take life one day at a time, right? Because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And certainly you're not going to go back and change something that happened yesterday, right? Because you can't. So if you live today the best way that you can, you do the right things, you're a kind person, you do what you're supposed to do. I'm not talking perfection, but to the best of your ability, then you've had a great day. You've had a great day. So, it's important to have that attitude. I think that a lot of people don't go down that path because it's very fear-based, right? We are fearful people. It's instilled into us since birth, right? The first words that you kind of hear is no, don't touch this, don't do that. So we are fear-based. So it's hard not to be fearful of the unknown and trust and have blind faith that things will be okay. But I try to live my life like that every day. I definitely make it a practice to practice what I preach. I don't want to be hypocritical in any way. I'm human, though. Obviously, we're not perfect, but you have to.
We're
right?
not perfect. Oh no,
we're all flawed. So if you do make a mistake, it's important to have accountability, to rectify your mistakes, to apologize for them, and to forgive yourself for the things that we do. Like if we don't do those things, that's why patterns of destructive behavior come in, whether it's addiction, whatever it may be. That's why self-work is so critical and self-love. So you break those patterns, you break those chains, those emotions that are tied to certain behaviors.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more. In fact, as you can see behind me, the subtitle of my book, Live the Life You Choose. I'm all about choice, making positive choices every morning. I have a routine that I do every morning before I get out of bed. I start off with being thankful to God, my beautiful wife, my family. Number 2, I say today, I've got this. God's given me the ability to do things. I give myself a little pep talk. And number 3, I say today's going to be awesome. I set my mindset on awesome right off the bat, not because I think blindly that I'm going to walk into the world and everything is going to be awesome, but I am choosing that perspective and that mindset. So when I go in and bad things do happen or other things happen, they don't look nearly so bad and life looks a whole lot better, because when you choose that mindset and you move forward in the positive way, like you're talking about, Dawn, things are so much better. You're going to have a much better life and have a better chance of living your best life. So, all right. So as we're getting close here, we're already winding down. We want to say hi to Uncle Bob. Hey, Bobby G. He said a hi about 4 times, so we're going to say
I'm sure he would love for you to click him in, Uncle Bob.
yeah,
We
yeah.
love him.
I wish we could, but you know what? The thing is I'm so thankful for everybody watching right now, and I want to remind everybody you have an opportunity still because this will sit on there for replay. People can catch the end right now. Tag a friend or two. Let them know that we're on because you know what? The majority of people watch this on replay. It also, by the way, everybody converts to audio podcasts. You can listen on Spotify or Apple Music, and you can or Apple Podcasts. You can listen after the show if you don't have time to watch. So make sure and let everybody know that we're on and that they have an opportunity still. So, all right, Dawn, I'm going to give you the final time here to wrap things up and let everybody know what's your gold nugget of today's conversation. What do you really want them to remember? And then let everybody know how they get in touch with you.
Okay. So I think I would want everyone just to remember that they're worthy, right? We're all worthy. Don't sit in regret or resentment. Forgive, because forgiveness is key to all of us. And we have to remember forgiveness is not for anyone else but ourselves, right? So that we can move forward and we could live the best life that we could. Forgiveness does not necessarily mean that other people's actions are acceptable. It just means that you don't allow other people to have that power over you. So if there's any takeaway from today is to forgive self and others, accept yourself and just love yourself for exactly who you are, and do your best to live your best life because there really aren't many do-overs in life. And if you do get one, you're very blessed to have that. So it's important to have all those things to elicit change. So that's my little snippet.
That is so great. That's so great. How does everybody get in touch with you?
Oh, okay. So you can get in touch with me through my website, wholeselfapproach.com. Also, nutritionconnect.health. I'm on Facebook as Dawn Nic, and I'm on Instagram. There you go, as Healthy Cooking for Life. I have it all up there. So that's how you can connect. And I look forward to hearing from everyone.
I love the healthy cookies for life. I'm telling you, that is awesome. All of that information, everybody, magically appeared below Dawn while she was saying it, but also it's in the comments. It's in the show notes. It is clickable. What does that mean? You just click on it and you go straight to Dawn. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to do any of that. Just click on it and go to Dawn, connect with her today, and she will bless your life. And Dawn, thank you. I mean, what a blessing. What a blessing to have you on today.
And thanks to Uncle Bob for connecting us, right? The connection there. So we appreciate Uncle Bob for that.
Yeah, that is so great. Well, if you live close to Uncle Bob, next time I'm in New York, we can all get together. I got together with Bobby G last fall when I was there, and he took me on his own private tour of the 9/11 museum and all of that, and that was a blessing. So, yeah. Anyway, well, thank you so much. I'm going to send you to the green room and say goodbye, but hang tight for just a minute, and I'll chat with you on the other side.
Sounds great, Russ. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right, everybody. Wow. Amazing. You know, I am really all about everything that she talked about, everything that Dawn was talking about, the holistic approach, the, being kind to yourself and then loving and being kind to others. Living your best life now is so vital to everything that is going on. And I'm telling you, it's a choice you make every day. And I can hear you saying now, Russ, you don't understand what I'm going through. Well, let me tell you, you were watching two people here that have gone through quite a bit. And I'm not trying to say you don't have way worse problems than we have, but everybody has stuff, whether it's cancer, whether it's other health issues, whether it's family and relation issues, no matter what it is, everybody has stuff. But you know what? You make the choice the way you live because life happens every day, but then you choose. You see what happens, and then you get to make the choice where to go from there. And today, I encourage you to make the choice to go in a positive direction. Connect with Dawn. It's all right there below me, and it's been her email has also been ticking along the bottom of the screen as we've been talking. So much great information there. And listen, if you missed this today, You can watch the entire thing on replay after we're done. Again, within a week, a few days to a week, it'll convert to audio podcast. You can listen, share that with your friends as well. Don't forget the marketing tip of the day. You can share that out as well. And I think, again, that is so important to prioritize the self-care in your life. This is all about what we were talking about. So thankful that you're all here today. Don't forget, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And this, again, sticks around on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. LinkedIn and YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days, but you could go back and watch that, and wish that you guys would go back and check that out. Also, don't forget, we'll be here this coming Thursday with another amazing guest. And I'm just so thankful you're here. Make sure and share this out. Continue to comment, continue to connect with Dawn, and just love everybody for being here today in this community. Until we see you again, have an amazing life, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.